G'day everyone. Recently I was contacted by a guy from Shutterbands. His name's Dell and he owns that company, and he thought would I be interested in having a look at some of the products that they produce. And I was interested because I did actually use them a while ago. When I think it was when I was actually shooting Nikon. He had some out there at that time that I used to use. And anyway, sent me a couple of items. Now I'll just click over to the website so I can show you what it is. So the company is called Shutterbands, and the website is shutterbands.com. And they produce these amazing little accessories for well, various cameras. I think you can get them for the Nikon Z-series cameras. You can also get them for Olympus, Pentax, and Panasonic, and Nikon, other things as well. But they're little things like they're enhancements that you can stick on for buttons and things like that. Now, one of the things with some of the Sonys, a lot of people complain about the ergonomics of the camera, and that's what Dell has tried to fix with this. And they come with these little buttons, and I'll show you the ones that he sent me. Now, there's two versions of this. There's one which is a kit that I'll show you, which is $20. Now, this is all US. And there's another one which is just the buttons themselves, which is $12. And there's also these cases and some other things that I'm going to show you as well. But the kit itself, they come like this. So when you buy the kits, they come out to you like this. So this is the enhancement kit, and I'll show you what's inside these shortly. And then there's also, if you just want to buy the buttons, there's this as well. So you can just buy the buttons to go onto your camera as well. And some of these are really handy. Look, some maybe not so much, but some of them particularly are really nice. And I'll sort of explain what they are. But let me just go back to the website and show you what the buttons are, just so you know in here. So the buttons themselves are like this. So they're just called the button bumps. And then they'll sit on your camera. Now, there's a couple here that will fit onto your lenses, and I'll show you this in a minute. There's also one which sits on your shutter there as well. So, and basically what they do is they just raise it up. Now, I've had these on for probably around about a month now, and they certainly haven't come off or anything. So they've all been really durable. So you've got that fits there. Now, you've also got these small 5.5 millimeter clear buttons, which are for your C buttons that you can see through here. And then if we scroll down a little bit more, you've got the 4.5 millimeter clear there for these buttons on the back, like your AF on button or your AEL button. There's also the 5.1 that you can put on these areas. So it is listed to show you where they go. And then you've also got these sort of different shaped ones that you'll use for your menu button and things like that you can put on. It does give you instructions about how you put them on. They come with a little stick. It's like a matchstick, really. And then you can just pull it off the tape and then just stick it onto the button itself. And they fit really nicely. So that's that if you want to just buy that. And I'll show you where they are on the camera just so you can see what they look like. So if we look here, you can see that I've put them onto the lens over here. And I've obviously got it on here for my shutter button. And then they are all on my individual buttons. Now, it's going to be too hard for you to see, but they are on there. Now, the great part now is that it does give you a much better feeling. Because the buttons are flat, when you're shooting, it does give you a much better feel of where the buttons are if you want to move to them quickly. So I really do like it. And unlike some cheaper versions, there are cheaper versions of these around. They don't discolor, and I remember that from when I had them on my last camera. They didn't discolor, and they certainly don't come off. Like, I've found that, like I said, I've had this on for a month and used them extensively, and they haven't come off at all. And they seem to be really durable, which is great. It's just more the feel of them that you can feel without having to, look at the button itself. It really makes a difference. And I particularly like the Shutter one and the one on the programmable button on your lens as well. So that's that part of it. If we look at the other, the kit though, like I said, that's what you'll get if you want to just buy that kit. If you want to buy the enhancement version of this, you get much more. And like I said, this is $20 instead of $12. This time you still get all the button bumps with this, so it comes with the button bumps there as well, but you get some extra things like these shutter bands. Now, I'll explain the shutter band. This is a band that sits on the lens. Now, you can see that here. Let me bring it up close. So what this does, this sits over that gap where your lens joins in onto your camera. Now there is a very, very small join there. Now that is a potential for moisture or dust or something like that to get in. Now they are weather sealed, yes, but this does make a difference. Well, I believe it will make a difference. It seems to be very well sealed around there. That fits exactly on that point. Now you can just move them out the way when you take your lens off, and then you can just wheel it back sort of on so it goes over that cover. So that's what they are. And they do, like I said, they seem to fit wonderfully. And I really like the idea. Any protection you can get like that in the weather or, you know, dust or sand or whatever is a great feature to have. The other thing that they have as well are these card tabs. Now, the card tabs are really cool. They're particularly... I haven't found it as needed in the A9 or the a7 III, but it's fantastic in the a6-400. Now, I can't show that because I'm using that. On the a6-400, the battery is, the cards are actually in the battery compartment, and it's really awkward to get out. So the tabs themselves are really nice. Now, what these are, you can see them both there, and what they'll do is they'll attach onto... the card itself. So when you click it, you've got something that you can just pull to get out. So they fit basically, let me just put that to the side. Yeah, so they'll fit on the cards just like you see here. So it's really good. Like I said, particularly in the A6 400 or 500 or whatever you're using, because the card sits in like that and they're a nightmare to get out the camera. Well, this just dangles down the bottom and you can just pull it out. So that works really well. Just put that back in. And all you do is in the compartment, you just fold them over and then you can close the door and they don't get in the way. So that's what that is. Now, if we look also, what the next thing that I'll show you is the display lifter. Again, this is really quite handy because I'm always sort of struggling, particularly if I'm working doing Fusion or whatever, trying to lift the display up. Well, what these do is it sits down like this, and then all you have to do is you just click on that and you can pull it up. Now, it's also nice on the a6-400 that I'm using now as well, and that works really nice to be able to just pull that up, like I said, at the same time. And all they do is they just fold on the back. You can see there that they just stick on. Now, I've had these on, like I said, for around a month, and they haven't come off, so they've certainly worked well for me. But I do love using that, like I said, on the a6-400 to pull that display right up, and it's much easier than trying to fumble around trying to grab the edge or something like that. So that does work very, very well. So in this kit you get, like I said, you get the ones for your cards, you get the ones for your display lifter there as well, and you also get in here, like I said, all the button bumps, but you also get the cap traps. Now, how many times have you lost your flash shoe cover? So they do give you a flash hot shoe replacement cover, which has the Velcro built into it. And all it will do is then you put one of these onto your camera somewhere so you can then lock it down. And what that does is I can just take this off and then you can just put it onto the side and it sits there. Therefore, you don't lose it. I mean, I can't tell you the number of these I've lost, and you can just take it back off again and then stick it back in. So that's a really nice feature as well, and it's cool because I'm always losing those flash hot shoe covers. Let me just come back to here. So that's what that is. These are your card, like I said, your card tabs that you use as well. And they're your Shutterbands that are there at the same time that you get to put around your lenses. So I think overall they're really good. Like I said, I've played around with these now for a month or so, and I really do think they make a difference to the buttons and things like that. Like I said, I don't think it's such a big deal for the your tabs on the cards in an A9 or an a7 III because they are easy to get out. But it certainly makes a massive difference when you're dealing with the A6 400 or a6000 or a6 500 or even the new a6 600, because they still have that card right against the battery underneath the camera and it's hard to get out. So that's what they've sent me initially. Now, the other thing that they sent me was this, which is these battery, well, they're called batteries and cards case. So I'll open them up and I'll show you what's in them. well, we'll have a look together because I haven't opened them yet. So there's two versions of this. There's this one, which is for the a6500 battery. And then, no, this is for the a6500. This is for the Z battery. So if we open one up, what it has in here is you've got a compartment up the top. I suppose you could keep spare cards or something like that up there, or batteries if you wanted to put spare batteries in there. But these will take your battery in it. So it will hold 3 batteries. So it's a nice little case. And I suppose if you have 3, if one's used, you could turn that the opposite way. And then, you know, like I said, you'd know which battery is used and which one's a new one. But it's just a neat way of storing your batteries. So I'm going to start using this from now on as well. And like I said, if you want to put a few spare batteries, you know, your normal pen-light batteries or whatever up there, you could too. And then lock that away, which is a nice little case. This one is exactly the same, except for it's for your, it's the, what is that battery name? I always forget. It's the MPFW50. So this is for the smaller Sony battery that you get. And again, it will hold 3 of them that you can put in. And again, you could turn that upside down. That's a case up here. Like I said too, this does zip. So if you take this out, this will zip as well. Now, you have got a name card if you wanted to stick a name thing on there so people could return it to you if it gets lost. So these are really handy, and I'm going to use these from now on. I think they're great rather than having them just floating around in the case like I have at the moment. So they were called the battery case. So if we look at these, that's these ones here. So that, like I said, there's one for the FZ100 batteries and there's one for the FW50 batteries. So they're the two there that we've got. And now they're both $20 each if you wanted to purchase both of those. And like I said, really, really nice product. They feel really good. Now, the next product that I want to show you are these bags. Let me show you an open one. These are called lens jammies. So this is the bag here. Let me just bring this up. So there's lens jammies. Now, there's 4 of them in this pack. There's an extra large, large, medium, and a small. Now, I have been using these over the last few weeks as well, particularly when I've been shooting, like the other day when I went to the waterfall and stuff, and I wanted to keep the lenses safe and the cameras safe due to the fact that there was, you know, the mist sort of coming out all over the place. So I did use these, and I found the large one particularly is really good to put my camera in. So what they are is just these bags. Now, they're really handy, these bags, because they're made of a really nice cloth material, but they're also good in a pinch to clean your lens and things like that, because it is almost like a lens cleaning cloth that they're made from. They do have a tie that you can tie up, but the large one, I've just tried this, and even with the battery grip on my A9, it will go in. And like I said, this is fantastic if you just wanted to protect something like a big camera or a massive, you know, if you have a massive lens. The medium type ones are great if you want to... So the medium type ones are great if you wanted to, say, put something like a Sony 135mm in there and then tie it up. And again, nice and a good bit of protection there. I mean, it won't protect it from being banged, but it certainly will protect it from being scratched. And like I said, it'll keep the moisture or the dirt or dust or sand or whatever off them as well. So these are really handy, and I'm keeping these in my case now all the time. And like I said, it's made of almost the same material like a lens cloth or cleaning cloth. So it's really good material. So they're fantastic. So they're priced at, it's $16 if you wanted to get the large kit, the 4-pack. And like I said, I think that's a really reasonable price. Overall, just fantastic. Like I said, I've been using this now for around about a month. I'm not getting a kickback or anything from Dell and Shutterbands. He just asked me if I'd be interested in looking at them. So I will put the website below, but it's certainly not an affiliate link or anything like that. But go and have a look at it. Like I said, I've found that they've been very durable, and I really like them. Like, I like these cases. I think these are going to really make my bag much easier to maintain with the batteries in it and things like that. The bags particularly I've loved using. I think they're fantastic, and I've even been using them in my case just to hold over things, to stop things from moving around and rubbing against each other. So I've been using them for that as well. And like I said, the shutter buttons, I particularly love these, how now they are sitting above the camera, so that feels really nice. And I do like the way you can just pull the back screen up, and particularly the card. Those little tabs on the card are fantastic on the a6500. Not so much on the A9 because I don't find them hard to get out. But the a6500, they are really good. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And if you have any questions, ask away. And apart from that, I'll see you all soon for the next video. Bye for now.